This morning I woke up and I decided to go to the park just to get a little bit of fresh air and just enjoy the beautiful scenes in the park. I found a nice place to sit and relax for a little bit since I'm always so busy sewing and moving around doing a bunch of stuff. But it was really nice to get out and see the runners and the waterfall and the beautiful greenery and just take in some really fresh air. It just felt really good this morning. And so this area of the park is so beautiful. There's a botanical garden nearby, the beautiful swinging benches, just made for a really nice place to sit and take some photos and share with you another beautiful DIY project that we're gonna make today. Welcome to Sew Girly Bags. I'm Mia, and in this video we're gonna make another gorgeous bag. I absolutely adore Hello Kitty. So I found some Hello Kitty fabric a couple weeks ago at Hobby Lobby, and I thought the red paisley fabric would just complement it so perfectly. We're gonna add a little Peekaboo clear vinyl window to this bag. I think it's gonna make a cute little feature so you can see inside the bag. This bag is a project that I used a lot of scraps on. I do have a lot of leftover fusible fleece, and I had a few pieces of vinyl left over. You can make your bag with more vinyl and less material if you want to, but I just used the little strip of vinyl that I did have left, so that's why I made the vinyl window the size that I did. In addition to the fabric and the vinyl, you will need 2 small D-rings to attach a strap if you want to, or you can just make this bag without the strap attachments and just use it as like a toiletry bag. I think that would be really cute as well. So let's get right into it. First, I decided to cut the vinyl 3 inches by 9 inches, just big enough to hold my phone, maybe a large size wallet, my AirPods, and a few other things. I got both fabrics from Hobby Lobby. I've never really seen Hello Kitty fabric inside of Hobby Lobby, so I was super excited when I saw it and I just had to get it. I am showing me sewing in a lot of the video, that's why it's a little bit longer this time, but just to show you guys the sewing portion instead of just showing you the steps. I hope this helps you a little bit more. First, I cut 4 pieces 4 by 9. This is going to be the pieces that's below the clear vinyl. I cut 2 of the red cotton pieces for the outside and 2 of the Hello Kitty pieces for the inside. I have a ton of fusible fleece scraps, so I'm going to open my scraps and find some pieces that I can use for these front and back main panels. On some parts of this bag, I did use a Teflon foot. It's just easier to use if you're sewing over vinyl. Most of the bag, I really didn't need to use it, but if there's a part where there is vinyl, the Teflon foot will make it easy to sew over. After I found some fusible fleece scraps, I cut them 1 inch smaller all the way around from the size of the main little cotton pieces. That's going to be the main front and back panels. So if the cotton piece was 4 by 9, then you can cut the fusible fleece 3 by 8, and that should give you about a 1/2 inch room all the way around, so you can leave the seam without any fusible fleece in it. It's just easier to sew, easier to turn without the fusible fleece in the seam. And after cutting all the pieces, now you can go ahead and fuse the fusible fleece to the back sides of those 4 pieces for the main panel. I grabbed the clear vinyl And here I'm just going to place it right on the lining fabric, and then grab the outer fabric and place it right sides facing right over the vinyl, and then just sandwich it in between both layers, and grab my clips, clip it all in place, and sew with about 1/4 inch seam allowance. I trimmed up everything evenly, and then now I'm just going to fold the layers back and then just top stitch right along the seam. And then I grabbed the other layers and did them the exact same way. If you have a label or a bag tag, here's the perfect opportunity to add it before you put the bag together. And now I'm going to just sew along the 2 short sides and the bottom of the main panels. To make the gusset for any bag, what I like to do is just take some measuring tape and measure all the way around the main panels. And then what I'm also going to do after that is just measure right along the top where I want the zipper to be. And then I just subtract that measurement from the entire gusset measurement. And the number that I get, I usually add an inch, so that way I can compensate for having to sew the seam. And that measurement is going to give me the bottom portion of the gusset. So I measure the top part just to make sure I know how long I want the zipper to be. And then I subtract that number from the entire gusset measurement. And what's left is going to be the bottom portion. And with that bottom portion of the gusset, I just add an inch to just make sure I have enough room for the seam to make it fit all the way around the main panels. Cut a piece of 14-inch zipper by the yard, but if you have a zipper that's 14 inches, you can just use that. For the top gusset pieces, I cut them 2.5 inches by 12. I cut 4 strips, 2 for the outer and 2 for the lining. And then I'm just gonna fuse some fusible fleece on the back sides. And then the measurement for the bottom portion of the gusset, I cut it about 4.5 inches by 19. And now I'm going to work on adding the zipper. So after adding the zipper pull to the zipper, I'm just going to place the zipper right on top of the lining fabric, and then just place the outer fabric right on top, sandwiching the zipper in between. The outer fabric is going to be face down towards the lining fabric. And now I'm just going to sew all these layers together using a zipper foot, and then I'm just going to fold the layers back and top stitch. And now I'm just going to take the zipper and once again lay it right over the lining, and then use the outer layer of fabric to place it right on top of the zipper, right sides facing. Then I'm going to clip everything together and use the zipper foot again to sew all the layers together. Then I'm going to fold the layers back again and pin them in place and top stitch. Then I'm going to take it over to my ironing board and iron the gusset just nice and neatly so that way everything lays flat. Close the ends of the zipper. I'm just going to open the zipper and then just sew right across the edge of each end of the gusset. Now we can work on adding the bottom portion of the gusset. First, I'm going to just fuse the fusible fleece to the back sides of both strips of the bottom portion of the gusset, and then I'm just going to give it a good pressing. And now's a good time to make 2 little tabs to go inside of the D-rings. So you can just take a piece of fabric that's about 3 by 3 inches, just fold it and then fold it over again. Give it a good press and then sew down one side of it and just use those tabs to go inside the D-rings. And then I just place the tabs right at the edge of the gusset and sew it right across them to attach them onto each end of the gusset. If you're not making a purse, you can omit the little strap attachments. But now you can just take both layers of the bottom portion of the gusset and place the zipper in between them and just go ahead and clip both ends of all the layers together. All the fabric should be facing each other. And then I'm just going to sew across both ends. And then after that, fold the layers back on the bottom portion of the gusset and then sew all the way around both edges just to secure the bottom portion of the gusset in place. And then after pinning the gusset, the bottom portion together, I'm just going to sew right across where the seam is on each end just to secure the zipper gusset to the bottom portion of it and sew right across those little strap attachments, just to hold everything in place nice and neat. And now I'm just going to go ahead and cut a little bit of the excess fabric from the seam all the way around both sides just to eliminate a little bit of the bulk. Now I'm just going to go ahead and match up the seam and just find the center of the gusset on the sides and the middle and just cut a little snippet out so that way I can line everything up evenly. And I'm just gonna cut the center out of the main panels as well, just so that way I can attach the gusset and everything matches up evenly. And now I'm just going to turn the gusset inside out so the lining fabric is on the outside. And I'm just going to use those little snips that we cut out to match all the pieces together. And then I'm just going to clip all the way around the bag. You want to make sure that you're attaching the gusset to the main panel, and the main panel is on the inside of the bag. So that way when you turn the bag inside out, the right side is showing on the outside of the bag. When it comes to the corners of the gusset, I use my scissors and just make little small snips right on the corners, just so that way it's easy to spread them around the main panels and clip them in place. If you have bias tape, that works perfect. But if you don't, you can just cut some of the fabric that you're using into about 2-inch strips, but long enough to go all the way around the bag. And I just use these strips to cover the inside raw seam of the bag. And then I'm going to fold the end of the little strip back with the right side of the fabric towards facing the actual edges of the bag. And then I'm just going to clip it all the way around where the clips already are in place. And once I get to the end, I'm just going to snip off the edge if it's too long and sew this little strip all the way around the bag. And after that's done, I'm just gonna take the strip and fold it up, and then I'm gonna fold it one time and then fold it over again, and then just use some clips to just clip it in place. And now I'm going to attach the front panel the same way. I'm going to use my little snips to match up everything, use some clips to clip it all in place, and then I'm just going to use the other strip that I cut to cover the raw seam on the inside and just clip it all the way around the bag, and then sew that strip onto the bag and then fold it over to cover up the raw seam. Since a portion of the bag is see-through through the peekaboo window, you can cut a little bit of the seam off after you sew it, just to make that part a little bit smaller so that way you don't see it through the window. Even though it will be covered with material, if you do trim it off a little bit or cut it down about halfway, it will show less through the bag. So yeah, you should do that on the other side of the bag as well. I didn't really do it on the other side of the bag. I just kind of folded the fabric over it, but it would have been nicer to just do that on both sides of the bag so that way you don't see that part inside of the window. And now for the fun part, let's turn this little cutie inside out and see what it looks like. The sweet reward of seeing all of your hard work, and I think it turned out really, really cute. I can't wait to throw some stuff in it. I am going to take some photos so you guys can see it actually on. You probably did see it in the beginning of the video. Sometimes I make these bags and I don't get to show you guys what they look like, maybe with an outfit or just how you can dress it up or dress it down or wear it every day. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really tried to show you guys more of the sewing in this video and also show you how this bag looks on. So if you would like to make another DIY bag, click on the video that's going to pop up on the end screen and I'll see you there. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in that video.